Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nenna, and today I'm back with another episode of the Not So Very Challenge. Here's some crackling in the background. I currently have my suitcase open. He decided to sleep on top of it, and it looked so cute. If you hear some crackling, that's what he's doing. We're almost done with our college experience. I'm so excited. Pepper has a 3.6 grade average, which I think is fine considering how much effort she puts in, and we have 3 hours until our final exam. I'm thinking we still have half a semester, and I actually got a question, not on YouTube but through my Discord, if I wanted to show Rosé's new face, and I hadn't done that because I pre-recorded the other parts before I read the comment. I'm gonna do you guys a favor just to remind you again what she looked like. This is already a makeover because she used to have a monobrow and a bit of a different hairstyle. Oh my god, this is what she looks now. Can you guys see the difference? Clearly we changed her eyebrows, and her old nose was wider. This is a nose that's very common, right? This is what they advertise. This is what most people want. Maybe not exactly, but still, Well, I wanted to give her something that kind of reflects with what is popular in my town, or at least in my country, whatever I've seen so far. And as you guys know, I also changed her brows, like I just said. I didn't really like the old ones, so she didn't really get her brows done. She just learned how to style them better. We're just gonna go with that story. And as for like her hairstyle, obviously she straightened it, but it's pretty much the same exact hairstyle. So I was like, that's so perfect. Now, as for her actual procedures, so she has had her lips built. To even things out, I evened her top lip to match with the bottom one. I don't know if you guys can see, but I slightly made her face a little more, I think I made it more rounder or shorter. I did something to it. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see. Her eyes are a bit closed. I don't know if there's a proper term for that, but they're a bit more, they're closed, right? It looks like they're closed, but they're not really. I figured many people these days want a youthful face. I gave her some rounded eyes, and I also try to make it look like fox eye because that's very popular right now. Not sure if I managed to get it done, but that is what I was aiming for. I do notice, however, that I don't love what I've done. I also still have to get used to it because I really liked Rosé's old face. Like, even if she gets uglier, let's say for example, she gets uglier. I think I've zoomed you guys in enough zoomed her face in her face long enough. Even if she turns ugly, that would be kind of nice. Okay, hear me out. Don't judge me like that, okay? I haven't had a chance to explain myself. Rosé was beautiful the way that she was. I loved her unique features, and I think she looked a lot like Danielle before I gave Danielle a makeover. She had Pepper's nose, but she looked a lot like her mother, like her Danielle, that mother. What was the point of this? Oh yeah, it was about the ugly part. It wasn't necessarily ugly. I just didn't really care about giving her a hairstyle or eyebrows or makeup or anything that kind of matched Rosé's personality or her features. It really was clashing, and it just didn't make her look good. Nothing wrong with a good unibrow, but from my point of view, if I want my sim to look the best, I don't tend to go for unibrows. I have one myself and I fucking hate it, so I'm definitely not gonna put my sim through that, not unless I want her to so-called look uglier. But if you love them, like, good on you. If you rock them, good on you. I bet you look beautiful. Just on me, I don't. I feel like I look a lot like my dad if I'm very hairy, which sounds not exactly how I mean it, but you get what I'm saying. So personally, for me, it's not really what I want, but like I said, you guys do that. So I really do put a bit of myself into my sims, and certain features that I'm like, I would like to get rid of that, I tend to do that with my sims. And I wanted to keep Rosé as pure as I could. Having a unibrow and going to very fleeky brows was also the most dramatic, so that's also a reason why I opted for that. But she still looked really good. She has a very distinguished face. Like, there's a very particular vibe going on with this sim. Their face is a very certain way. I'm just zooming in on all of my sims at this point because maybe there's going to be more questions. I know it's probably going to be the last episode or the next one. I mean, maybe this one, if I have the time for it. Just in case, I'm doing a little zoom in for all of those characters. I know it's kind of at the end, but we're going to see them, hopefully, some of them, not all of them, throughout the series. So just in case, I'm going to show you. Now, Jana, I really like her as well. She has a very, I think these Sims look different, though they all kind of look the same. I didn't put the most effort into making them over, but I think that for the most part they're pretty I mean, not basic, but still basic. I feel like there's more like I feel like I'd put more effort in Tilly than in her and Tim. This is what Tim looks like. It's also not too crazy to assume that these sisters have had some surgery done themselves or maybe some Botox. Like, I think one of the things that I typically do is give my Sims a bigger lip. I've noticed that that is a common theme for me, but for this gen, I was like liking the fact that she didn't have like really thick lips. She had a very long lip. But then the whole plastic surgery, I don't know, it just made more sense. Like, I kind of want to go overboard with her lips eventually, and I just want to give her like these really ridiculous, I don't know. But I have plans for Rosie, and I do want her to get more surgery. I just think it's going to be fun to see if we're either going to go the road where it's too completely botched, or we're going to just go so far that she's just beyond recognizable. I still want her to look good if I can. I also want to give you a little close-up of Julie here. Look at her, she's so cute. She is so freaking cute. I do want her to succeed. I want her to feel pretty, so I'm not going to make her look ugly on purpose, but for storyline purposes, if it does happen that she could end up looking, or something happens and she could end up having a botched surgery or looking ugly, I'll definitely support that for a while. Like, I'm not afraid to make her look ugly. I could easily fix it. This might be a little harder to bring back her original shape, but realistically, if you break your nose, it's going to look the same. I mean, it depends how you break it, of course. That is all the characters and their faces and the whole stories and stuff, and just wanted to cater to you, those who want to see more of their faces. It might be a little bit of a long thing, but you know, I only have to do this once. I want to do it right. For some reason, Taylor has decided to smack Julie. So I want to go over to her and greet her and appreciate her, because I don't, oh my god, Tilly and Julie haven't been doing really well, and after the whole cheating thing, she's basically confronted her a few times and said some bad things about her because she was angry and upset, and oh no, she lost. I think at this point she would stand up for a friend and tell Tilly to back off. Just leave her be. And Tilly's just like, you should talk, Rosie. You should talk. You really telling me to back off? You almost messed things up between me and Tim, who are doing fine, by the way. He has no interest in you anymore. And Rosie's like, I never even had an interest in him in the first place. Like, I really don't care. She's like, yeah, keep telling yourself that. Keep telling yourself that. You're gonna pay for this, Rosie. You're gonna pay for everything that you've done. I thought you were my friend, but I guess not. You were never my friend, Tilly. You never wanted the best for me. And I certainly never wanted the best for you. Not anymore. Don't come near me. And don't come near Julie. I swear, next time I see you, I'm gonna catch these hands. Oh, she's upset again and she went back to her room. Rosie has been thinking and thinking and thinking, and she hasn't really talked things through with Julie. It's not like she has to, but ever since she confided in her and told her what's been happening, minus the whole threatening and doing things against her will part, she's been really considering to break things off, and she feels like, in any case, she's ready to risk it all. I said it a lot, but she's willing to expose, and she believes that if she tells him that that's going to happen, that she's going to do that, and he is probably going to get kicked out or it's going to ruin his marriage. He doesn't stand a chance. He's going to lose everything, so it would be best to just break things off before everything comes to light. And Rosie believes wholeheartedly that this is going to work because he's pulling the same threads and she doesn't like it. The vibe is just not good. She thought it was a good idea, and then she thought he was a sweet guy, but every freaking week something else happens and it just gets more and more weird, and she doesn't really want anything to happen while she still has the chance to prevent it. The thought of him wanting more and giving perhaps her first woohoo to him is just really bothering her. She just doesn't want to think about that. She doesn't want what happened to Julie happen to her. The circumstances were of course a little different, but in the end she gave up something she didn't want to for someone that did want her and then left her, and it ruined a special moment. And Rosie does have a little bit of a cliche inside of her. She wants to have her knight in shining armor on a white horse, a prince, and she wants her woohoo to be special, no matter how she dresses, no matter how she's acted in the past, no matter how she may be seen by others. This is still something she wants. I think every girl wants wants to have a person like that in their life. After that awkward call with Guy, he hasn't really called us anymore. He hasn't checked up on us or anything. Which, I mean, he doesn't have to, but it was just really weird how he was being really supportive and then basically like not, like he didn't stay in contact after that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna invite over the professor. I don't like many of the places in this world. I do like the pool, but is the pool really the perfect place to invite over a professor? And it's not like it's very suspicious if one is here. She also doesn't really want to be alone with him anymore, and she hopes that things will be relatively calm if she breaks things off in a public space. Rosé has mustered up the courage and she is about to tell him the bad news, and it looks like Julie is kind of keeping an eye on her, following her around, and I don't know if she knows what's going on. It's not like we really filled her in on anything, but she probably gets the feeling or the vibe just from how we're acting. And why is he always being so creepy? Why are you always in another person's room? I seriously just don't get it. I'm just gonna pretend like she's not even here. She might just leave, go away. So I'm going to tell him that we're not going to be continuing this and see how he takes it. But for some reason I don't know if this is a bug, but they keep walking from one room to another, and it's just so freaking annoying. So maybe if I line up a bunch of these, the man is not gonna look like he's not gonna do this anymore. Why? Okay, you know what, there's no way I'm gonna make this happen for story purposes because he keeps walking away, and I actually lost him this time. Like, where is he? Where did he go? He probably disappeared into another room. This guy is just, oh my god, whatever. Okay, whatever. Let's just come up with a story, okay? Let's just skip the whole action part and just go straight into this. Oh, where were we going to study? Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'll study with you. Rosé officially has ended everything with the professor, and things were really heated. He pretty much acted and behaved the same as he did in the last episode, saying that her life would be ruined and that she would regret this. And Rosé kind of stood up for herself and said, you know what, you're going to regret this. I'm going to report you. And it kind of became this vocal battle between them, whereas Rosé was saying, oh, I'm going to report you. He kept saying, oh, really? Who's going to believe you over me? I'm going to make your life hell. And it wasn't until he became very physical that he felt like a different person. It became very really, how do I say this? It was a very tense situation, and it really made her uncomfortable, and it was almost like she wanted to say, you know what, you're right again. She wanted to give up again. She wanted to just give in again. And Julie showed up and basically said that she knew what was going on and that it would be wise for him to leave. Like, he couldn't just keep doing this. She wasn't gonna let it happen. If he wanted something from her, he had to fight her too. And it was not until Julie showed up that, you know what, he actually gave up. He basically decided that it wasn't worth the whole hassle, or like sighing and probably saying something like, why are you in the trash, sir? I mean, you're trash, but why are you in the trash? Maybe he was saying something like, we should just forget it, split ways, nobody has to get hurt. I don't know if he thought that he would genuinely lose or win against Rosé. Maybe he did think he would win, but I think in any case, if a student does make a report, it's probably going to be taken seriously, unless the school is shit. So I don't think he felt like it was worth risking. Rosé really cannot thank her friend more than she already has, and she's thanked her so much and so often, and she feels really bad because her friend up for her and confronted her freaking, I mean, I would say abuser, very broad word, but you know what I'm trying to say. I think you guys can feel what I mean when I say the abuser. This guy deserves a raise. You know what, I haven't talked to this guy. Work in cafeteria? Yes, work in a cafeteria. Let's do some volunteering. We're kind of free for the night. Oh, I love this. I love that we can work in the cafeteria. This guy can finally have a break. I feel, oh, that must be so nice for him. He just gets to sit and relax. Let's just pretend that she needed some extra money. You know what you do when you need to go pee? You go to the bathroom. I swear I've never seen a sim more dumb than Mandy. Many of my sims are kind of dumb at times, but she's taking it too far. I'm sorry. There's no helping her. Yes, Julie still doesn't know. She doesn't know that Rosie has done that to her. And luckily, the situation was confined, because imagine something happening and everyone finding out that Rosie was hooking up with a professor. Like, if that came out, it would literally ruin everything. But at least now she still has her so-called fake friends, and life is good, you know. Nobody needs to know. Only your best friend knows. I don't know how long they're gonna be best friends, but you know. So Julie just came home, and let's see what the girl is up to. I wish I could control her. I probably could. Yeah, I can control her. I forgot about that. I keep forgetting that I can actually control her, but I tend to just not want to. This is probably also the way for me to change her outfit, but I don't know, I kind of like this outfit on her. It just feels really nice. I don't know. As Julie is getting into the kitchen, Rosie is going off to the bathroom. They kind of connect eyes, and Rosie just points at whatever signal she has, our crotch maybe. And Julie knows that she has to go to the bathroom. She'll be here soon. And Julie actually joins Jana for I guess some late night, what is this, carbonara? No, carbonara, macaroni. Probably macaroni. And it's then when Jenna kind of looks at Julie and says, wow, you must have it so rough. She can be sweet sometimes, but for the most part, she's a douche. And Julie's like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I'm handling it. I'm doing a lot better, actually, but thank you for caring. And Jenna's like, so how do you do it? You know, your best friend hooked up with your ex-boyfriend? And he's kind of shocked and says, what do you mean, my best friend? What does Rosie have to do with anything? As she's explaining everything, Rosie walks in and notices the two sitting together. Rosie would never do that. Julie just cannot believe that Rosie would do that. So she's basically gonna go and confront her right away. All of a sudden, she feels this confidence, this feeling of, you know what, if it's not now, it's never. I can't lie to her anymore. The feeling of guilt is just too much, and I'm not gonna say it, but she's willing to risk everything. Julie is absolutely shocked to hear this and immediately starts yelling at her that this can't be real. She's asking all the good questions. Why? How? When? You know, all of those. And it's there where Jenna is complimenting Rosie and says, good on you, Rosie. You finally confessed of sleeping with another man. And Rosie's like, I never slept with another man, I swear. And Julie's like, are you sure about that? I thought you would never dare to mess with my feelings or my personal affairs, but here I am learning that you slept with my man and you didn't even dare to tell me. I had to hear that from another person, and for some reason freaking Tilly has to come in between and start beef. Seriously? And we're just sitting there like, yeah, I don't know why we love this so much, but damn it. Can't have a nice story, can you? There's always beef. Rosie is trying her best to make her best friend understand, but she is not willing to hear any of this, and she just keeps on yelling and taking out all of the frustration that she's bottled up the past few days, few weeks that they've been broken up, and all of those feelings, those things that you were crying about that kept her up at night, they're all projected at Rosie, because in the moment she is causing these feelings to show up and to, I guess, emerge and overwhelm her. And the disbelief that her friend would do this to her is just so great that she just can't help herself. And Rosie is just taking it because she doesn't really know what to do. She kind of expected her to behave like this. At the same time, she also hoped that she would be more understanding, and she wanted to, she wanted to confess. She did, but didn't think that Mandy was the one that would spill, or not Mandy, but she didn't think that Jana would spill the beans to her. So what I'm actually going to do is start a little bit of an argument with them. I'm actually going to make you unselectable because I like you better when you're just doing what you want. Rosie decides to confront Jana and tell her what the heck she's doing and why she's just getting in her way. And Jana's like, what do you mean? You're the one who slept with her boyfriend. Don't put the blame on me. She doesn't even know what to say besides just yell a bunch of random things about her not being a real friend anyway and whatever. And it's not really arguments grounded on anything. There's no basis to them. There's nothing. It's just pure emotions. And she does have a point. She's a horrible friend. She already knew this and she should have told her earlier, but it was just not going to happen. And she was going to tell them tonight. How would she know that they would spill the beans to her? How did they even know in the first place? They weren't there when it happened. I guess Tilly must have told them. This is just the worst outcome because now she's literally all by herself. I mean, oh, it could be worse though. It could be worse. You know what could be worse? They could know about the professor. There could be other rumors. That it's not that bad. She can just apologize in the morning and things can just go back to the way that they are. I'm just going to pretend that my mortal enemy is not sitting on a chair staring at me sleep, because what if, oh my god, I know, what if Mandy is sitting on the PC digging up some dirt about Rosie because she's like a heavy sleeper or something, and she finds out these letters from the professor and her, and she starts a whole nother rumor about Rosie sleeping with the professor, and then she adds to the fact that she cheated on, or she's the woman that her, I mean, that sounds bad for her brother as well, but I don't think she would give a shit about throwing her brother on the bus. She would say like her brother was happily together with some guy. Nope, that's fine too, but that wasn't the case. Her brother was happily together with some person, and why is Tim now being rude to Julie? Oh my god, what the heck is going on? Maybe Julie confronted him and said, how dare you sleep with my best friend? And Tim is just like, huh? So confused, and now she's crying. Tim has absolutely no freaking idea what's going on. I didn't sleep with anyone, okay? If you really have to know. Julie is just, usually she's asleep, but now she's on a rampage. She's just, oh, she's on a warpath. I don't think that she would give one frick. She would probably, yeah, you sleep well, right? Sleep is always good when you're out for revenge. She's willing to throw her brother under the bus, and she's willing to anything to get back at Rosie and to make her look like an embarrassment in front of everyone. Everyone kind of likes her now, and that obviously bothers her. So if she can do anything in her power to make her unlikable or give her the worst reputation ever, she's obviously gonna take it. So let's say that Mandy found these things, these letters, these whatever emails, and she has decided that she's going to publicly, maybe she took them, like these real, oh my god, what if she took them and spread them through email to all of her friends? Oh my god, that would be such a bitch move, but I can totally see her do that. So she sends this email, right? Let's just pretend she did that before getting in bed. She sends this email, and it basically, I don't know, it goes viral, right? Over campus. Everyone is reading it. This guy in the morning is going to get fired because obviously this is something that shouldn't happen, and he didn't really think about that when he sent those emails, you know, and maybe there's like a peen pick in there, you know, you never know. I mean, he did do some suggestible things with Rosie, so he was still here. God damn, what he was doing. He's doing a lot of things with other people. Maybe after the thing where Rosie got out, they found out that there were other reports from students who came forward and said that he did the same thing to them, but it wasn't like replicated. Is that what you say? I keep wanting to use this word, but I keep forgetting how to pronounce it, so my bad. But for them, it wasn't a return. Like, they didn't return his feelings, but Rosie was obviously very, very liable, so obviously she was easier to talk into those things. It obviously was harder for her to say no, and people then start to think that based on those emails, these people were coached into that, these people were victims, but Rosie actually liked it, and she stands out because those rumors make her sound like a person that does anything. And she already had this reputation of dressing kind of suggestively for the first few years because she wanted the attention, she liked the attention, and now this comes out. And on top of that, Mandy's going around saying that she broke up her brother with his girlfriend because she just couldn't keep her legs closed, and she seduced him when he was drunk. I don't know, some whole bullshit story just to, you know, add to the things. And now everyone on campus thinks that she is a big ass hoe, and you better stay away from her because she's gonna take your man, ruin friendship, ruin relationships. Man, did you just burn? You trying to poison us, sir? He really is trying to poison us, isn't he? He's done with my bullshit. He's like, I'm gonna poison your sim so I don't have to hear about the story ever again. All of this is obviously playing, and Rosie has no idea. I do want her to graduate next episode, so obviously I'm not gonna make it to the point where Rosie doesn't even want to go to college and like not gonna go, but she would drop out. I think she's so close to finishing it that she definitely would finish. And another thing, I think this is another opportunity and we'll talk about it in the next episode. But if she does find out that this is how people are talking, obviously she's gonna be sad. But I think it adds to the whole, oh, I'm kind of wanting to get a fresh start again, and her associating with changing her looks with fresh starts and people liking her more. So she'll probably go back to gym, maybe dressing even more provocative, and perhaps putting on more makeup or changing her hair even more, or putting herself out there even more, going to clubs. Maybe, I mean, she doesn't drink, she doesn't really smoke, so those things will definitely not do. She doesn't do drugs or anything. She doesn't really go to clubs either, but I definitely can see her doing more plastic surgery because of it, and perhaps potentially, like I said, dressing more provocative and trying to get attention from men in another positive way, so she can forget about all the other ways that weren't so positive. Now, unfortunately, there wasn't much for me to play out because the freaking professor didn't want to stay in one place. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode nonetheless. And in the next episode, we're just gonna go and graduate. So if you guys are looking forward to that. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think of the story so far, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.